$50. That's genuinely all it takes to get into resin. A bottle of UV or two-part epoxy resin, a few silicone molds, some pigment, and you are in business. The epoxy resin market is projected to reach $17 billion by 2028. Your slice of that starts here. Let's go through 35 specific products, what they actually cost to make, what they actually sell for, and what makes each one worth your attention. Number 1. Resin hair clips and claw clips. Resin hair accessories have been growing consistently across TikTok and Instagram, and claw clips specifically are having a sustained mainstream moment in 2026. You take blank acetate or plain plastic claw clip bases, fill their flat surfaces with resin tinted with pigments, embed dried flowers, gold foil flakes or glitter, cure and sand to a smooth finish. Art Resin specifically highlighted resin hair clips as a tutorial in early 2026, direct evidence that this is an actively searched and produced category. Material cost per clip runs $1 to $3. Finished resin claw clips sell for $12 to $28 each on Etsy. A set of 3 matching clips sells for $30 to $45. Use UV resin for this. It cures fast, and the thin application is well suited for the small surface area. Number 2. Preserved wedding flower jewelry. This one has a legitimate, documented success story behind it. 2 sisters, Lindsay Ann Gottschall and Courtney Joy Blair of Ann and Joy on Etsy, built a business where customers send them flowers from their wedding bouquets, and the sisters encase those flowers in clear resin to create wearable pendants, earrings, and rings. They made over $65,000 in revenue in a single year from this concept alone. The emotional weight of the product is the entire business model. It's irreplaceable by definition because the flowers belong to the buyer's specific life event. Material cost per pendant, resin, bezel, and chain is $2 to $5. These sell for $45 to $120 depending on complexity and the number of pieces in a set. You do need to understand proper flower pressing and drying before attempting this. Wet or improperly dried flowers turn brown inside resin. Number 3. Resin dice sets. Custom tabletop gaming dice made in silicone dice molds with swirling resin colors, embedded glitter, foil flakes, or tiny inclusions like dried herbs and flowers are one of the most enthusiastic buyer communities in the resin market. Serious Dungeons & Dragons and tabletop RPG players will pay significantly for dice that match a campaign aesthetic or character concept. A 7-piece polyhedral dice set, the standard RPG set including the D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, and D20 die, made from resin, sells for $25 to $65 on Etsy. Material cost for a set is $3 to $6, including resin, pigment, and glitter. Precision and accuracy matter enormously in this market. Dice that aren't balanced correctly are a complaint point, so quality control through consistent pouring technique is the skill that separates the best sellers from the rest. Number 4. Resin dominoes. A full set of double 6 dominoes, 28 tiles, cast in resin with embedded color, metallic flakes, or marbled swirls is a premium game set that sells for $45 to $90. Material cost for a set is $4 to $8 set. The distinction from mass-produced plastic dominoes is entirely aesthetic. A set of resin dominoes in deep navy with gold pip inlay looks like a luxury object. These sell strongly as groomsmen gifts, as game room statement pieces, and as gifts for people who are notoriously difficult to shop for. Silicone domino molds are widely available. The pips, the dots, are typically painted or inlaid after curing with a fine brush and contrasting paint. Number 5. Resin clock faces. A resin-poured clock face, typically a round or irregular organic-shaped pour with an embedded clock mechanism insert, is a product that sits between home decor and functional art. You pour the resin layer, add colors, create a geode effect or a fluid ocean pour, drill a center hole once cured, and insert a standard AA battery clock mechanism, which is available for under $3 wholesale. The result is a completely unique wall piece that actually tells time. These sell for $35 to $90 depending on size and complexity. Material cost for a medium 10-inch clock is roughly $8 to $12. The visual impact is high and they photograph extremely well, which matters for Etsy listing photos and social media marketing. Number 6. Resin bookends. A pair of resin bookends poured into L-shaped molds or over weighted metal bases is a product with very little competition relative to its search volume. Fewer than 1,000 Etsy listings for resin bookends compared to the tens of thousands for resin jewelry, which means the space is genuinely underserved. Geode-style bookends, crystal cluster pours, ocean blue epoxy bookends, and faux agate slice bookends are the styles with the most active interest. A weighted base provides necessary stability. Material cost for a pair runs $5 to $12. These sell for $40 to $90 per pair. They photograph beautifully styled with books on a shelf, which makes them natural content for home decor-focused Pinterest and Instagram. Number 7. Resin magnets, themed sets. Resin magnets, small castings in silicone molds backed with adhesive magnet sheets or glued magnets, are genuinely quick to produce and sell in themed sets of 4 to 6 for $12 to $25. There are over 7,000 listings for resin magnets on Etsy, indicating active and proven demand. The approach that converts best is themes, a theme of miniature food replica magnets, tiny sushi bowls, tiny ramen bowls, tiny coffee cups, a botanical specimen set with pressed flowers in clear domes, or a celestial set with moons and stars in deep navy and gold. At $1 to $2 and material cost per set, the margins are strong. These are excellent craft fair impulse buys for the same reason beaded phone charms are. They customize something people carry everywhere, and the personalization feels immediate and personal. Number 8. Resin pet ID tags. A custom pet ID tag cast in resin in a silicone tag-shaped mold with the pet's name and phone number embedded in the back or stamped on a metal insert is a product that taps into the $152 billion U.S. pet industry. Material cost per tag is under $1. These sell for $8 to $18 each. Add glow-in-the-dark pigment for nighttime visibility and mention it explicitly in your listing. It's a feature that resonates with safety-conscious pet owners. Custom colors and shapes for different pet types, a small heart shape for cats, a larger bone shape for dogs, give you product range without new technique investment. Pet tag silicone molds are widely available in multi-packs. Number 9. Resin cake toppers, reusable. Resin cake toppers, small decorative figures, letters, or word pieces set in clear or tinted resin, are a growing niche because unlike foil or paper toppers, resin toppers are permanent and reusable. A bride who receives a resin Mr. and Mrs. cake topper keeps it as a keepsake. Parents who receive a one-topper for a first birthday keep it as a milestone memento. These sell for $12 to $35 each, depending on size and customization. Material cost is $1 to $3. The personalization angle is strong. Casting a family name initial or a specific milestone year inside the topper elevates it from decoration to keepsake and justifies significantly higher pricing. Number 10. Resin paperweights with embedded specimens. A clear resin dome or cube with something beautiful suspended inside, pressed wildflowers, a preserved insect specimen, a tiny terrarium scene with moss and pebbles, a vintage coin, or a small printed photograph is a product that people stop and examine closely when they see it. The visual of an object preserved in crystal clear resin is inherently fascinating and commands attention, both online and at markets. Paperweights sell for $18 to $45 depending on the embedded element. A wildflower dome costs $2 to $4 in materials. A preserved insect specimen, sourced ethically from specialist suppliers, embedded in a cube, sells for $35 to $55 and attracts the science, naturalist, and curiosity cabinet buyer, who is a high-value customer with limited handmade alternatives. Number 11. Resin phone grips and phone ring holders. A resin phone grip, a circular or custom-shaped piece affixed to a phone socket base, allows a smartphone user to hold their phone more securely with a decorative element that reflects their personality. This is an extension of the phone charm trend, but different in function and manufacturing. Resin phone grips cast in small domed molds with embedded glitter, pressed flowers, or marble pigment effects sell for $8 to $18 each. Material cost is $1 to $2. These are strong craft fair impulse buys for the same reason beaded phone charms are. They customize something people carry everywhere, and the personalization feels immediate and personal. Number 12. Resin drawer pulls and cabinet knobs. Resin cabinet knobs cast in round dome molds with a threaded insert embedded during the pour so the piece screws directly onto cabinet hardware are a home decor accessory with meaningful margin and low competition. Buyers who are renovating or refreshing a piece of furniture specifically seek handmade hardware alternatives to the generic options at hardware stores. A resin drawer pull costs $1.50 to $3 in materials, including the threaded insert. They sell for $8 to $14 each, or $40 to $65 for a set of 6. Sets in matching colors with embedded botanicals or in terrazzo-style speckle designs are the strongest selling aesthetic in this category right now.
Number 13. Resin light switch covers. A completely overlooked niche, resin-coated or resin-cast light switch covers transform a purely functional object that's on every wall of every room into a decorative accent. You purchase blank plastic switch plate covers for $1 each and apply a thin layer of resin mixed with pigments, dried flowers, or glitter over the front surface. Material cost per cover is $1.50 to $3. These sell for $10 to $20 each on Etsy. They're particularly strong sellers for children's rooms, rainbow colors, star designs, animal motifs, and for themed spaces like home offices, nurseries, or cottagecore decorated rooms. Because every room has one, buyers often purchase multiple covers in coordinating designs. Number 14. Resin serving boards or resin-dipped wood boards. A wood cutting board or serving board with a resin-dipped or partial pour edge where flowing resin in ocean blue, forest green, or amber tones extends over one corner or edge of the board, while the natural wood grain shows through the rest, is a premium kitchen gift item. Important: this is decorative, not food contact. Resin should never directly contact food. These boards are positioned as charcuterie display boards used with wax paper or as decorative serving platforms, not as surfaces food sits on directly. Material cost for a medium wooden board plus resin is $6 to $12. These sell for $35 to $70. Always be transparent in your listing about the food safe distinction. Number 15. Resin wall mirrors. A resin wall mirror, where an existing mirror is framed with poured or sculpted resin in a geode, crystal, or organic irregular shape, is a product with only a few hundred listings on Etsy, according to market research, yet with proven sales histories in existing shops. The perceived value is high because mirrors are already considered a premium home decor item, and adding a custom resin surround transforms a plain mirror into a statement art. A basic round mirror blank from a craft store costs $8 to $15. The resin pour around the edge costs $4 to $8 in materials. Finished mirrors sell for $55 to $200 depending on size and complexity. These require a pressure pot or vacuum chamber for the best results on clear sections. Number 16. Resin guitar picks. A pack of custom resin guitar picks cast in guitar pick-shaped silicone molds with swirling colors, embedded glitter, or foil inclusions is a niche product with a passionate, gift-motivated buyer base. Every guitar player either has a preference for pick thickness, measured in millimeters, or plays with whatever's available, and a set of custom handmade picks is genuinely meaningful to someone who plays regularly. A set of 5 picks in a small drawstring bag sells for $12 to $20. Material cost is under $1 for 5 picks. The niche is underserved relative to the size of the guitar player community, and the small size makes this an excellent UV resin project that cures in seconds per pick. Number 17. Resin hair barrettes, Y2K aesthetic. Distinct from claw clips, flat barrettes, the clip-style hair accessory that has returned to mainstream fashion through Y2K nostalgia, are a fast resin project using blank metal barrette bases. You fill the metal tray section of the barrette base with UV resin tinted in bright colors or marbled effects, add metallic foil flakes, cure under a UV lamp, and finish. A single barrette takes under 10 minutes to produce after setup. These sell for $8 to $15 each, or $20 to $30 for a coordinating set of 3. Material cost per piece is under $1. Barrette bases are available in bulk from jewelry and supply companies for $0.15 to $0.4 each. Number 18. Resin sculpture and figurines. Small freeform resin sculptures, abstract forms, crystal cluster shapes, faux raw mineral specimens, or figurative shapes are the fine art end of the resin market, where pricing is driven by aesthetics and perceived artistry rather than function. A small resin sculpture that looks like a raw crystal formation sells for $25 to $75 depending on size. The technique involves either free pouring into shaped molds or building up forms with thickened resin with a palette knife. These have the highest creative ceiling and the widest price range of anything on this list. Skilled resin artists sell sculptures for $100 to $300, while beginner pieces in the $25 to $40 range find buyers who appreciate the handmade quality even at an earlier skill level. Number 19. Resin art panels, poured wall art. A poured resin wall art, a thin wood panel or canvas with pigmented resin epoxy resin poured and manipulated across its surface using a heat gun to create cells, lacing patterns, and organic color movement, is the most visually dramatic resin product category and among the highest priced. A 12 by 12 inch poured resin art panel sells for $55 to $150. A larger 24 by 24 inch piece can command $200 to $400. Material cost for a medium piece is $10 to $18. The challenge is consistency. Resin art is inherently variable, and each pour is different, which is both its appeal and its challenge when fulfilling custom orders for specific color palettes. This is a pour and sell approach, where each piece is photographed and listed individually rather than produced to order. Number 20. Resin chess sets. A complete custom resin chess set, 32 pieces cast in 2 contrasting resin colors using chess piece molds, is a premium product with a premium price tag. Resin chess piece molds are available with full piece sets. A complete 32-piece set in 2 colors sells for $65 to $150 on Etsy. Material cost for resin and pigment is $8 to $15. You don't need to provide a board. Selling pieces only or offering pieces plus a separately sourced wooden board as a bundle is both valid approaches. This is a time investment piece that requires patience with small pours and demolding, but the finished product is a luxury-feeling object that photographs beautifully and appeals to the growing community of home game room decorators. Number 21. Resin jewelry pendants with alcohol ink layers. Layered resin pendants, where multiple thin pours of resin tinted with alcohol inks are built up in sequence, each layer adding depth and color complexity, produce pendants that look like miniature paintings suspended in glass. Alcohol inks spread and bloom beautifully in resin, creating organic patterns that are impossible to replicate digitally. Each pendant is one of a kind. These sell for $18 to $45 each and are among the most shareable resin jewelry products on social media because the finished result is visually extraordinary relative to the technique's simplicity. Material cost per pendant is $1 to $3. Use UV resin for fast layer curing between pours. Number 22. Resin bookmarks, long pendant style. A flat resin bookmark cast in a rectangular or tassel-shaped mold with embedded pressed flowers, dried botanicals, or swirling pigments, finished with a tassel at the top, is a product distinct from the crocheted bookmarks. The resin bookmark has a completely different aesthetic, polished, glossy, jewel-like, and clearly designed as a beautiful object rather than a purely functional one. These sell for $8 to $18 each on Etsy. Material cost per bookmark is under $1. The book lover community on Etsy is large and actively buys bookmarks in multiple styles. A customer who already has a crocheted bookmark often buys a resin one too because the aesthetics are entirely different. Number 23. Resin buttons, garment buttons, and craft buttons. Casting custom buttons from resin in round, square, or irregular molds with embossed or plain surfaces in any color combination is a genuinely underexplored niche. Sewers, knitwear designers, and garment makers actively seek distinctive buttons that elevate finished pieces beyond the generic options at fabric stores. A set of 5 to 8 buttons sells for $8 to $18 on Etsy. Material cost is minimal, a few grams of resin per button. Marbled buttons, clear buttons with embedded botanicals, and buttons in specific seasonal color palettes are the styles with active buyer interest. Garment button molds are available from jewelry and craft supply companies. Number 24. Resin wineglass charms. Distinct from the beaded wine charms, resin wineglass charms are small resin shapes, a bunch of grapes, a wine bottle, or a geometric shape in a specific color attached to a ring that clips onto a wineglass stem for party identification. Material cost per charm is $0.5 to $1. A set of 6 sells for $14 to $22. These are craft fair staples and strong hostess gift items. The advantage of the resin version over the beaded version is durability. Solid resin pieces are more robust than beaded ones and can be dishwasher safe if made from properly cured hard epoxy resin. Always test cure hardness before marketing as dishwasher safe. Number 25. Resin washi tape jewelry. Washi tape, decorative adhesive tape in hundreds of patterns, embedded under a clear UV resin dome, produces jewelry that achieves complex, printed-looking patterns without any digital printing equipment. A strip of washi tape applied to a ring blank, earring blank, or pendant base, sealed under a UV resin dome, becomes a piece of jewelry that looks like the pattern is suspended in glass. Resin Obsession covers this technique specifically. Material cost per piece is under $0.5, including the washi tape. These sell for $10 to $20 per piece. The pattern variety of washi tape, floral, geometric, seasonal, or character-themed, means your design range is essentially unlimited without changing your technique. Number 26. Resin geode trays, serving and display. A geode-style decorative tray, an oval, rectangular, or irregular resin pour on a wooden or MDF base with a crystal interior geode effect using metallic powders, chunky glitter, and layered pigments, is a high visual impact home decor item that sells for $35 to $85 depending on size. Material cost is $6 to $12. The key technique detail is the white or cream outer border that mimics the exterior rock face of a real geode, with the interior the focal point. A resin nightlight or lamp, where translucent tinted resin is poured into a shape or over a wooden base and illuminated from below or inside by an LED light, creates a glowing, otherworldly effect that's genuinely stunning in a darkened room. Ocean scene resin nightlights, mushroom-shaped resin lamps, and wood and resin river nightlights are among the most photographed and shared resin products on social media. Small LED tea light inserts for resin nightlights cost under $2. The resin and basic LED components for a small nightlight cost $8 to $15. These sell for $35 to $75. The LED component is the only non-resin addition. You do not need electrical wiring knowledge for battery-operated LED versions. Pressing and drying individual botanical specimens, ferns, wildflowers, leaves, seed pods, and then sealing them under a thin, clear resin coat on a backing card or in a small frame preserves them permanently while adding a glass-like finish that elevates the display well beyond a simple pressed flower frame. These are positioned in the naturalist, botanical art, and herbarium aesthetic markets. A small framed resin botanical specimen sells for $15 to $35. A set of 3 matching framed specimens in a unified color palette sells for $45 to $75. Material cost per piece is $2 to $5. The appeal to the cottagecore and dark academia aesthetics, both of which are actively buying in 2026, is direct and strong. Pet memorial and keepsake products are emotionally loaded and price insensitive, which is exactly what you want in a product category. Resin dog nose and paw print castings, where a paw or nose impression is pressed into alginate or clay to create a mold, and clear resin or tinted resin is poured into that mold to create a permanent displayable cast, are in active demand from pet owners who want to preserve something physical about their pet before they age or pass. A clear resin paw print cast in a small dish or frame sells for $25 to $55. You don't need the pet present for the final product, just their paw print impression, which owners can submit using a DIY impression kit you supply with the order. Resin rings cast in ring molds with tiny pressed flowers or botanical elements suspended inside clear or slightly tinted resin are a jewelry category with documented, sustained Etsy demand. There are over 43,000 listings for resin rings on Etsy, indicating an active market, though standing out requires distinctive designs rather than the generic single daisy approach. The winning angle in 2026 is either maximalist arrangements, multiple tiny flowers packed into the ring band, or ultra-minimalist with a single perfectly centered specimen. Material cost per ring, resin, moldware, pressed flowers, is 50 cents to $1.50. Rings sell for $12 to $35 depending on design complexity and presentation. UV resin works well for rings because the small pour volume cures fast and precise.
Resin photo pendants, a small, clear resin pendant with a miniature printed photograph embedded inside, sealed under a domed layer for depth, is one of the most emotionally compelling personalized jewelry products in the resin category. The buyer submits a photo digitally. You print it at a miniature size, embedded in the pendant mold with a backing layer of resin, dome it with a second pour, demold, sand, and polish. These sell for $18 to $40 each, depending on size and pendant style. Material cost is $1 to $3. The personalization means every sale is custom, and the customer feels the product was made specifically for them, which it was. Memorial pendants, a photo of a deceased loved one or pet, are the highest converting version of this product because the emotional need is the most acute. Clear resin shot glasses, cast in cylindrical molds and cured to a hard, polished finish, are a novelty drinkware item sold as decorative objects in conversation pieces rather than for actual drinking. This distinction is critical. Cured epoxy resin is generally not considered food safe for direct beverage contact and should not be marketed as drinkware that liquids sit in. These are positioned as display pieces, party decor, or display vessels for small items like salt or sugar on a bar cart. With that framing clearly communicated, they sell for $15 to $30 for a set of 4. Material cost for a set is $4 to $7. They photograph beautifully for social media with styling. A set on a marble surface next to cocktail ingredients looks like premium bar accessory content. Miniature resin mushroom sculptures cast in silicone mushroom cap molds or free-formed with thickened resin tap into the fungi aesthetic that has become a genuine sustained cultural moment across cottagecore, wellness, and witchcore aesthetics on TikTok, Instagram, and Etsy. Small resin mushroom sets sell for $15 to $35. A toadstool-themed desk display with 3 mushrooms in graduated sizes on a small wooden base sells for $25 to $50. Material cost is $2 to $5. The glow-in-the-dark versions, using phosphorescent pigment that charges in light and glows at night, are a specific and very popular variation that consistently sells for a premium over standard versions. A small, oval, or irregular trinket dish, not a functional serving tray, but a ring dish, the kind you place on a nightstand for jewelry, made from clear resin with gold or silver metallic foil flakes swirled through it, is a product that consistently outperforms expectations at craft fairs because people look at it and immediately know what it's for. It's simple to produce. Pour into a shallow silicone dish mold, add metallic foil before the resin sets, cure, demold, and finish the edges. Material cost is $1 to $2. These sell for $12 to $22 each. Pairs of matching dishes, one larger for bracelets, one smaller for rings, sell together for $25 to $35. They photograph beautifully with a piece of jewelry inside, which is exactly the Etsy listing photo that converts. Your 35th product is the one that multiplies all the others, selling a beginner resin kit that includes a small bottle of UV resin, a silicone mold, dried flowers, metallic powder, and a printed instruction card, everything a first-time resin crafter needs to make one project. These kits sell for $18 to $35 and serve a buyer who is curious about resin but not ready to commit to buying all the components separately. The kit concept was specifically identified as a growing trend in 2025-2026 resin market data, beginner-friendly resin kits showing up consistently in demand analysis. Your cost to assemble each kit is roughly $5 to $9 in components. The buyer gets an experience, a product they made themselves, and likely returns to buy finished pieces from you once they realize how much more skilled yours look than their first attempt.